Once upon a time, in a cozy little house at the foot of a big snowy mountain, lived a happy baby named JJ. Outside, the world was a winter wonderland, covered in a sparkling blanket of soft white snow. Jay, with his big curious eyes, looked out the window and saw the mountain peaks twinkling under the winter sun. He wiggled his tiny toes with excitement. Today was going to be a special day. Mommy and Daddy bundled JJ up in his warmest snowsuit. It was bright blue, just like the winter sky. They put on his fuzzy hat with a pom-pom on top, his warm mittens, and his chunky little boots. "Are you ready for an adventure, my little snowflake?" Mommy asked, tickling his chin. JJ giggled and clapped his hands. He was more than ready. Daddy brought out the most wonderful thing JJ had ever seen, a bright red sleigh. It was shiny and smooth, with a comfy seat just for him. "Let's go on a sleigh adventure, JJ," Daddy said with a big smile. They placed JJ snugly in the sleigh, and together they stepped out into the crisp, cool air. Whoosh! The adventure had begun. Daddy pulled the sleigh gently and they glided over the snow. Swish, swish went the runners on the soft powder. Jay looked around in awe. The trees were all dressed in white, their branches heavy with snow, looking like giant sugar-coated lollipops. Little birds hopped on the branches, tweeting a cheerful winter song. A friendly squirrel with a bushy tail peeked out from behind a tree, chattering a hello before scurrying away. They started to go up a gentle slope on the big snowy mountain. The higher they went, the more amazing the view became. Their little house looked like a tiny toy down below. Jay pointed his mittened hand. "Ba ba ba," he babbled, his eyes wide with wonder. "That's right, JJ," Mommy said softly. "That's our home. We're on top of the world now." Suddenly they heard a jingle-jangle sound. Jingle, jangle, jingle, what could it be? Around a bend in the path came a family of deer. There was a strong daddy deer with big antlers, a gentle mommy deer, and a little fawn with wobbly legs. They stopped and looked at JJ with their kind brown eyes. JJ wasn't scared at all. He waved his mitten and said, "Hi," in his own baby way. The deer twitched their ears as if to say hello back and then gracefully bounded off into the snowy woods. As they continued their journey, they met some new friends who were also enjoying the snow. A group of happy bunnies were having a snowball fight. Not with real snowballs, but with fluffy little puffs of snow they kicked up with their feet. The bunnies were hopping and tumbling, their white fur making them almost invisible against the snow. One little bunny hopped right up to JJ's sleigh, wiggled its nose, and then bounced away to rejoin the fun. JJ giggled and kicked his own feet, pretending he was a little bunny too. The sun started to get a little lower in the sky, painting the snow in beautiful shades of pink and orange. It was time to head back down the mountain. The ride down was even more fun. The sleigh slid down the gentle hills, faster and faster, but Daddy held on tight, making sure JJ was safe and sound. The wind tickled JJ's cheeks, and he laughed with pure delight. It felt like flying. On their way down, they passed a frozen pond that looked like a giant mirror. A family of penguins who were visiting from the far-off South Pole were ice skating. They slipped and slid and twirled around in a funny, clumsy dance. One of the baby penguins slipped and landed on his soft belly, sliding right up to the edge of the pond. It looked at JJ and chirped happily. JJ clapped his hands, cheering for the little penguin. The sleigh slid smoothly, and soon they were back at the bottom of the mountain, right in their own backyard. But the adventure wasn't over just yet. Mommy and Daddy had one more surprise. They helped JJ out of the sleigh and together they built a snowman. They rolled a big ball of snow for the bottom, a medium one for the middle, and a small one for the head. They used pebbles for the eyes, a carrot for the nose, and twigs for the arms. Their snowman had a big happy smile, just like JJ. As the first evening stars began to twinkle in the sky, they all went back inside the warm, cozy house. Mommy made delicious hot chocolate with marshmallows floating on top. JJ was too little for hot chocolate, so he had a bottle of warm, yummy milk. He sat on Daddy's lap, wrapped in a soft blanket, feeling warm and safe and so happy. He was sleepy now. His eyelids felt heavy. He looked out the window one last time at the snowy mountain, glowing under the light of the moon. He saw his snowman friend standing guard in the yard, and he smiled. What a perfect day it had been. He had ridden in a magical red sleigh, met friendly deer, playful bunnies, and silly penguins. He had flown down the mountain like a superhero and built a new friend. As Daddy rocked him gently, JJ drifted off to sleep, his head full of snowy, happy dreams. He dreamt of his next sleigh adventure on the big, beautiful mountain. And he knew that with his loving mommy and daddy, every day was an adventure waiting to happen. The end. Thanks for listening to our story today, little adventurers. Don't forget to come back for more fun soon. Bye-bye.